If someone's suffering from poor mental health, there's many ways that you're able to see that. Yes, mental health is part of the mind, so you can't see that part, but there are lots of ways that you're able to see how people are suffering with poor mental health by the way they behave, the way they act, and the way they conduct themselves. Now, I've lived with poor mental health myself, so I'm going to share with you some of my first-hand experience and give you some examples of how poor mental health can manifest itself, so you might be able to see some of these signs in other people. One of the most noticeable ways that this can come across is in people's behaviour. People's behaviours change over time. They may be a quiet person and suddenly you see them shouting, or you see them becoming aggressive. They might be a loud person and you see them becoming quite withdrawn, less visible, less involved. You might find when you communicate with someone that they're sending you one-word answers on text rather than a paragraph. These can all be signs of ways that mental health is affecting somebody. And this can be particularly noticeable if you know somebody fairly well. So you're able to pick up on these behaviour cues, because to somebody from the outside looking in who doesn't know them, they may just see an outburst as the way someone's reacting. It may be a natural reaction to some people, but if you know that person, you know how they typically act, you will be able to tell if there's something not quite right about the way they're behaving. And that's the way to check in with them and see if things are going okay with them. And that might be a quiet word, that might be a message. Just take a little quiet moment to talk to them when there's no one else around and find out if they're okay. Another way to spot signs of poor mental health in someone is in their emotions. We're all emotional creatures and we react to situations in different ways. So we're expected as human beings to carry our emotions with us in everything that we do in life. So, but like with behaviours, you're looking out for signs that people are over emotional, overreacting, or they may be reacting a lot less than they should be to a situation. So, for example, somebody's given some news about something and they may break out in tears. And you might think, I've never seen them cry before, publicly. That could be a really big indicator to there being something not quite right with them if they're so emotionally triggered. I know I got like that, and I found I was starting to become teary-eyed at lots of different situations, watching films, listening to certain songs, um, just responding to people's behaviours around me. And that, for myself, was a big alarm bell in itself. But it was also something that other people spotted and made comments on as well, because they're not used to seeing me cry. So those changes in emotions are a really strong way for you to spot that somebody may have poor mental health. Now, seeing these behaviours and these emotions isn't a guarantee that people do have a mental illness or they're suffering with poor mental health. It is not a guarantee, but it is a sign and it is a point in time for you to check in with them that they're okay, because these are symptoms of people who may be suffering with poor mental health and mental illness. So they're not to be ignored, they're not to be trivialized, and they are to be acted on. And even if it's just a quiet word with them, that's what matters, because these behaviors and these emotions are the way for the mind to tell you, as the person it's happening to, and those around you, that your mind is shifting and they're not feeling quite right. So when people say that when people say that poor mental health is invisible, it's really not. There are lots of ways to spot these signs, but it's knowing what these signs are and it's knowing how to act on them that's important. The mind works with the body to express these experiences that the mind is going through, and that's what we need to be looking out for. If you've enjoyed this video, I've made several mental health myth videos, so check out my channel, Sam Cliff Talks, for more of them, and check out the video in the top left for the next one on the series. Take care, thanks for watching.